We did it. We're here. Will. Oh, buddy. This is exciting. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night because I was excited about today.
Same.
You might have seen me messaging you. I'm like, hey, are you ready? Are you ready?
Yeah.
I'm excited. This is fun. What are we doing here? We're trying something new.
Yes.
We have friends in common. We hung out. We like, hey. I said, I think you're good people. I'd like to have lunch with you. And we came up with this idea of like, let's build something. Let's do it live. Let's just build something and have fun. It's a Friday.
It is a
It's
Friday.
holidays. And yeah, we're gonna build something. What are we gonna build?
We're going to build an AI chatbot.
That sounds great. I like that. What technologies are we gonna use? I know we're gonna use Spring AI.
Yeah. So we're going to use Vue, which is a JavaScript framework. We're also going to use a component library called shadcn. It's going to be a pretty bare bones. Normally, when I work with Vue, I would use what's called the Nuxt framework. It's great for enterprise uh, like configuration, but because we're doing such a simple app, I'm just sticking with plain Vue, and we'll make it work.
My teammate Dan says, "View for the win."
I
This is
love Vue.
great. Folks that are joining us live, we're doing this live. Drop in, let us know where you're joining from. I like to say that like it's interactive. It's live for a reason. So what you get to do when you come to my house for dinner, if you leave hungry, that's your fault. So if you're here, you're live, let us know where you're joining from because my mom and dad are definitely watching. And if you have questions, ask. We're going to have fun. We're going to hang out. Don't leave hungry. Hello from Argentina. Welcome. Welcome. What do you say we get started?
Let's do it.
All right. I'm going to drive first.
Okay.
And I'm going to go to start.spring.io. And I'm going to choose Maven in Spring Boot 3.4. And we're going to call this IO a stack of the week. Yeah. AI. Service. There you go. That's great, right? And let's go ahead and use Java 23, the latest
Okay.
and greatest. And we're going to add a couple of things. Let me think of what we need. I like to add Graal VM. We'll see if we can get to that, make it really fast and have it run on a Raspberry Pi. I always have the actuator. I typically use web. I don't even know if I need that, but I'm going to add it anyways. And of course, I'm going to do Olama. This is going to be our AI. We're going to do that because I don't like training somebody else's models with what I'm doing. So we're gonna run it nice and local. And I think that's all that I need for now. Yeah, and if we need to add something, we can add it. So hello, Ukraine in the house. Dan says, I'm joining from Cleveland, Ohio. Personal website uses Vue plus Nuxt 3. Like,
Solid
yeah,
choice.
yes, you guys will have to have lunch sometime. Hello from Madrid. And, oh, too late for coffee, but happy to hang out. Ram, I am super happy that you're here. Ram is super awesome in my circles, Cloud Foundry, one of my favorite people. So we're gonna do this. Let's go. Yeah, let's just go. We're gonna do it live. So we're gonna generate it. It's gonna give me a zip file service, and then what I'm gonna do that downloaded, I'm gonna go. Whoops! I said I was gonna have my terminal open. I want you to see what I'm doing. So let's just go to that downloads and unzip the service zip that we just made, and let's go in there, service, and open up our IDE. So far so good. This is great. Oh, Siva is actually going to be on Spring Office Hours with us on Monday with me and
Oh,
Dan.
excellent.
So
Excellent.
I'm glad to see you here, Siva. Siva's also awesome. Like this is exciting. I got all these amazing people. Now I feel a little bit of pressure today. You can see my screen. We're going to get started, I think. What I'm going to do, one thing, because we're working on different places and we're going to try to do this together. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stand up ngrok. Ngrok is going to make it so that you can access my machine and we don't have to do a whole bunch of fancy networking stuff.
That's lovely.
So I'm going to just go grab this little command over here. And we're going to stand up that first. So here, and actually everybody will be able to hit it right while we're playing. So this is going to stand up this tunnel. And there's nothing running. So if we go to that URL, hopefully, let's go, make sure. Oh, it went to the wrong place, but it definitely had an error. So let me put one of those screens here so we can kind of show our work. And this is going to be the URL, DaShaun.ngrok.io. And it says, hey, there's no service back there, right? You tried to forward it to 8080 and there's nothing there. Okay, so let's go see if we can get something there. So I shouldn't have to do anything. I did some pre-work. I have Ollama running. Ollama is a way to serve models. So I already deployed 3 hours ago. I deployed Llama 3.2, and we could switch this out. And in fact, let's just do that. Let's grab another one because that feels kind of like cheating. So let's go over here to ollama.com, and you can download Ollama. You can install it on your local machine. There's also Docker images, so you can run these as a Docker container. But I'm running on my machine. This is a M1 Studio, and the newer versions of Ollama will let me use the GPUs that are built into this chip a little bit. So it's a little bit better than what I would get if I was running as a Docker image on this machine. But the other thing that we have here is we have these other models. And a couple weeks ago, Sebastian Blanc, he was using a bunch of these tiny models, Tiny Llama. So I'm going to install Tiny Llama on my machine. And to do that, Ollama pull Tiny Llama. That's it. So this is a little one. It's only 637 megs. So if we want to deploy this to like a Raspberry Pi, for example, we can do that later. So we're going to use Tiny Llama to start. And in order to choose that Tiny Llama, Mistral is going to be the default, right? This is all defined here in Spring AI. So it managed to bring up those docs. Because I don't know all the answers, but I like this. Yeah, Spring can do Docker Compose. So we could say, hey, I want Docker Compose support, and we could have it stand up that Ollama instance automatically. Yeah. Oh, Dan brings up the idea that we could do the code with me. We could actually be doing this in the same IDE. I don't know what IDE you use. I use IntelliJ.
I'm VS Code.
So maybe we won't do that because we want to go fast. We want to make this fun for
Yeah.
everybody. And it really doesn't matter. That's one of the things putting together a team. Do I want everybody to be on the same IDE? Maybe if they're all junior developers. Maybe you'll get a little bit of level up if you're supplying that IDE, but a lot of times it doesn't really matter from my experience. But this is Spring AI. Here's the docs. We are going to jump in here, and I'm going to pull these up because I don't remember the properties, and I don't want to copy. So let's try to do it live. AI models, chat models, we're down here. We want Ollama. And I'm going to show you, hey, we already did we pulled our image. We have our starter because we went to start.spring.io. And here's our properties. The one that I want to do is the base URL. We're going to use the default. I want to change the model. So we're going to grab this property right here. We don't want to start with Mistral. We're going to start with Tiny Llama. So that's the first change I'm going to make is here. I'm going to put in a property that says, hey, I want Tiny Llama that I just downloaded. That should be it. And because I have the actuator, this application should start up. It's not going to do anything because we didn't have it do anything, but it should start up. MVNW Spring Boot Run. Fingers crossed. It would be really embarrassing if it didn't work this soon. So now this service is up. We're working, we have something that's there, and now I can go over here, and if I re-hit this URL, I expect them to see a white label error. Boom. All right, so, but that's hitting my service, and I know that because if I go here, actuator health, I added that actuator endpoint, so now I can see, hey, this service is up, it's not doing anything, but it's up. So far, so good. you should be able to go and hit that same URL. So I can put this into the chat, and everybody should be able to go and hit it. And won't that be fun? Like, I am exposing my laptop to the world, but I didn't have to do any fancy networking stuff. This is the power of ngrok. And actually, yeah, that's slick. I like that. There's a Spring Boot starter for ngrok so that you can do this and you can have fun with it. Maybe I'll add that later on, but we're up and running. I started the tunnel. I gave it access to 8080, so now you can hit 8080. And look at this. We're cooking. All right, so now let's do something interesting. So we're going to go here. I can go and look, and we've got example code. I want to do a builder. That looks good. That looks good. Function calling, multimodal. Let's go. I'm going to jump over here. And I'm going to do this in one class. It'll be easier for us to read. Is my font big enough? Can you read it?
I can see it great.
Okay. Yeah, audience, if audio goes funny, let us know. Make sure that the font is readable, etc. I tried to bump it up as large as possible, but let's stop it. We have something that's running. And what we're going to do now is we're going to add a controller. We want to give an endpoint that's going to work. So I'm going to do this REST controller, and this we're going to call this class stack of the week controller. Super original.
Literal naming's good.
Yeah, and what I want to do now is I want to build a private final chat client. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this similar to that with Spring stack of the week controller. I'm gonna bring in a builder, yeah, and we're gonna build this. We're gonna configure this. We're gonna say that I'm looking at my notes. Yeah, no, that's it. This dot chat client builder dot build. We're gonna take the defaults. This will get us out the gate. How does that sound?
It's great.
So now we have a chat client. What is my error here? It says, oh, we haven't used it. Let's use it. Let's do a hello world. At get mapping. Let's do it. Let's call it question. So this is, we're going to pose a question to this bot, to this tiny LLM model. And yeah, we can do it like that. And what we're going to say is simple enough. We're going to say, I just want a string. I don't want the fancy stuff. I just want a string. So I'm going to say, hey, I want return this chat client prompt. What are we going to ask it? I'm going to pass in a user message. We're going to bring that up here. String message. That's going to be my input. And then I'm going to say call our chatbot and return the content. Done. This is all that we should need. This is all we need to get started. We're going to ask a question. I could do something here. I can say at request param, and I can put in a value for, this is the property that we're going to pass in. I can put in a default value. Tell me a joke. No, that's simple. That's the default. We'll do that. Tell me a joke. Can you? We're asking a question. Can you please tell me a joke?
It's good to be proper.
About people that do live streams. How's that?
I think it's perfect.
So what that looks like is we're going to pass in a message It's just calling that get endpoint. We're going to pass in a message and we're going to get a response back. Should we test it?
Let's do it.
All right, let's run this again. There, I'm running. It's hitting the Olama server on my side. This is almost like too easy because now I go here and I said question. I don't even have to pass anything in because it's going to use that default one. It says, hey, sure, here's a joke about people who do live streams. What do you call a group of people huddled together in front of a computer screen to watch their favorite YouTuber stream? A Zoom party. This is the tiny LLM. So that's pretty fancy that we actually got a joke from this 600 and something megabyte model. Not big at all. I'm gonna go peek because I'm curious. It was 638 megabytes. We're good. I've got a backend service that we can chat with. Do you think that you can do anything with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you think you can call this endpoint and maybe pass in a message and
I do.
Get something back?
I do.
All right, I'm gonna hand it off to you. I'll leave this running.
Okay.
And I'm gonna pull my screen away.
All right. Now I'm going to present.
So far, so good.
Yeah. Share screen.
I'm looking at the chat here. It says, fun note for those VS Code users, you can port forward from within the app without an extension. I think I literally just saw that on somebody else's screen that I was working with earlier today. It said, hey, it looks like your app is running here, and you could just go and hit that app.
Shout out to Byron. He was a senior developer of mine. I've learned a lot from him.
Hey, right on. Welcome, Byron.
All
Simon
right.
is also here. I'm a big fan of Simon. All right.
Let's see. Can you guys see my VS Code? Do I need to make the text any bigger?
I just added it. What I'm going to do is I want to see it. So I'm going to pull down to another screen because I want to see it nice and big. All right.
All right. Well, so first thing we're going to do is install Vue with Vite. So I'm going to open up my terminal within here.
Okay, you already lost me. What's Vite? I've never heard of Vite.
Vite is a package manager. It makes it so you can deploy different front ends very simply. So what I'm going to do here, and you can use it to deploy different frameworks. We're going to choose the Vue option.
Is there a URL for me to install Vite? I'm going to try to play along.
Okay.
I want to learn.
You can go to Vite, next generation front end tooling.
Got
it. But so I'm just going to now use the project here.
Okay.
So I'm going to call it stack of the week view. I'm going to use views. Potentially. But so you can see here we have all of these different options. We can choose just vanilla JS, Vue, React, Svelte, Angular. We're going to choose Vue. I'm going to use TypeScript.
I'm going to bump it up a little bit so I can see it a little better.
Here, I'll do that as well. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so now we have an app. I'm going to move it out of this folder into that one.
What was the command that we ran?
It was npm create Vite at latest. All right. I'm going to go into my here. Get rid of the double folders. Delete this bad boy.
Oh,
all right.
Byron's asking maybe bump your font size.
Okay, can do that. I'll also just make it bigger. Fill the whole screen.
Yeah, use it all.
All right.
Thanks, Byron.
Thank you, Byron. Oh man, this thing's in the way now with my terminal.
Oh, you can hit that little hide button.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, you can move that.
All right, so next we are going to install some packages here. We talked about using shadcn for this project. Yep. So let's go to...
My first time seeing shadcn.
Let's see, what do I have it on? That's not it. we'll just do it here. All right, so shadcn is a great component library. Let's go to the actual, because we're using a variant of it for this. So shadcn is a great component library. It is a styled component library, meaning that it's opinionated and it gives you a quick design without having to do much. It's built off of what's called Radix, which is a non-styled component library that is focused on accessibility.
Ah, like that. Always a big fan of accessibility.
Yeah. So their library is most up to date if we're using React. However, there is a port somebody has created for shadcn for Vue. You can use the CLI to install things, but the thing that makes it great is it's really just a matter of copying and pasting base components and then extending it for your specific needs. But so for what we're doing now, I'm going to install several different packages.
Okay.
I'm installing, oh, I need to get rid of that. Class variance authority, Tailwind merge, and the Vue use core.
Okay.
Class variance, so Tailwind, let me start it here. shadcn uses Tailwind CSS. That depending on how you feel about Tailwind, that could be, something you don't like, or
in my line of work, the people that I hang out with that don't do a lot of front end stuff, Tailwind is amazing.
Yes.
Right? Because we can make something look really, really pretty, really fast.
Yes. One of the things, though, that can happen with Tailwind as you're adding all of these different classes is you can have conflict between the styles. And so class variance authority and Tailwind merge are tools that smooth all that out to prevent any conflicts.
All right, hold on one sec. I'm going to put that in the chat. npm install class variance authority Tailwind merge, and then at Vue use core. I think I got that right.
Yep.
If anybody else is playing along, my brew install is all done, and now I'm doing the npm create vite, and I'm almost caught up. I'm
Okay.
trying to keep up.
So we're going to install now a next set of packages. This being dev dependencies. So, and we're installing the types for Node. One of the ways within Vue to create aliases to your paths is to use the URL library. We're installing Tailwind CSS, and we're installing Post CSS.
Did we do TypeScript or JavaScript?
TypeScript.
We did TypeScript. All right, so I have something. It says new patch version of npm is available. So I like to be on the latest and greatest. Like, who doesn't?
That's great.
So let's do that. npm at 10.9.2. Let's get upgraded.
Let's do it.
And I'm close. I got to be close. I got to be almost there. Almost caught up. So now I've got my app created. Vite project. I won't slow everybody down. But the next thing I want to do is this, right? Do my npm class.
And I actually like you following along, so I don't mind slowing down for you.
All right. I mean, it's our first show.
It is, and it gives other people to try the same.
Josh, my good friend, who also runs on this show, and he does the school things. I used to spend nights, evenings, watching his video. He's really, really fast, and he can talk and type at the same time. I cannot. But I used to just watch his videos over and over, trying to just get that muscle memory of doing the things that he was doing on stage, and it paid off. So I like this mode, and I try to keep up with him whenever I see him doing live things, whether it's on here or at conferences. I try to keep up. I don't always keep up, but I try to keep up as long as I can. So I'm going to ask the audience to do
You're clearly better than me. This is my very first live stream, so we're just flying by the seat of our pants.
This is great. This is great. All right, I've got my npm class variance authority installed.
And then did you do the second one?
Let's do that. Npm install -d at types. Whoops, I gotta put a little space there. At types, node, tailwind, CSS, and post CSS.
And just for an explanation of what's just happened, the first npm installed everything in our dependencies in our package.json. And then the second one installed within our dev dependencies.
Okay, so the -d is the dev dependencies.
That's correct.
Okay, it's good to know.
All right, let's see. So now we're going to initialize Tailwind.
Okay.
So I'm going to do npx.
npx.
Yep.
Tailwind CSS.
init-p.
Init-p. What's npx?
Let's see. I don't know.
It created.
Let me look it up. It's yeah, it's npm's a package manager. npx I think is
part of it.
Yeah. What's the
okay?
difference?
Created Tailwind CSS config and created post CSS config. Okay.
I don't really have a quick answer.
Hey, that's all right. That's all right.
All right. So back to here. We did our init. So let's look at Tailwind config. Let's look here.
Does it look good?
Are not. Yeah, it looks good. I'm going to comment these references out, and I'm also going to just name these as .back. We don't actually need them.
The Tailwind config. Wait, which ones?
tsconfig app.json and then tsconfig.node.json. And it just gives you a bunch of other
okay.
compiler options. For what we're doing, we're going to keep it pretty simple.
All right.
Let's see. So I guess the next step here is really to build the app. Let's go to, I want shadcn again. Vue. All right. So we talked about using Tailwind merge. And so we're going to create a utility class. I'm going to create a folder within source. Call it lib.
Byron, thank you so much. Byron is filling us in. npx allows you to run packages without installing them. So after looking for it inside your local node modules, it just runs it so you don't have to do that. That's pretty nice. So the X is for execute. That's good to remember.
All right. So I'm creating this utility. I don't need that.
So in our...
And I don't think I need a ref. That was from a different thing. So I just copied the utility class here from here. I'll drop this in the chat. Join the chat. Connect. Oh, it won't let me.
Yeah, put it in the private chat. I'll copy it over.
Okay.
And that's what we'll have to do. Is like when we're taking the steps, we'll just make sure that we comment and share and get them so that everybody else can do it.
And so as part of what I've copied, I'm not taking the entire file. The value updater is not something that we currently need. I'm just interested in the function cn. Okay.
So just lines 1 through 8.
Mm-hmm. And really, you could say 3 through 8.
Okay, 3 through 8. And I'm going to put it into a new folder in source called
create lib.
Mm-hmm. New directory lib. And I made utils.ts. Utils.ts. Oops, not tx. Let me fix that. All right. I feel like I'm a front-end developer already.
Yeah.
This is fantastic.
I can see it. If this Spring Boot stuff doesn't work out for you, maybe we can try this.
Yeah.
All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is create a Vue alias. This is where, let's see. I'm going to grab it.
Okay.
I'm going to grab it over here. I've found it in the past.
I do that.
I don't know if this is breaking the rules, but I'm just going to drop it in here.
Nope.
So we need to get
in the vite config.ts.
And so what this is doing is setting up our paths so that I can easily just reference lib instead of, depending on where I'm at in the file structure, having to back out of folders and whatnot.
Got it. Copy those 5 to 13 lines in the chat, and I'll post it for everybody so you can copy and paste. Fantastic. Oh, it's not formatted, but I think it'll be all right.
I wonder if I can copy this.
It'll be all right.
All right. The next thing we're going to do is go pick out our shadcn components that we're going to use for this. And you can see here, this is the shadcn Vue repository. I think it's part of the utils ts link that was just sent out. So I'm going to go lib registry default, and then I'm going to grab the UI folder. Let me see if I can make this bigger. There we go.
So this is part of the benefit here with shadcn is I get kind of these blocks of code that I can go and grab.
Yeah, and it's designed just to copy and paste. So I'm going to grab both the button and the index.
Okay.
And so I'm now going to go here and components. I'm going to create a new folder called UI. I'm going to create a new folder called button, capital B. And then I'm going to create a new file called button.vue. I'm going to copy that.
And where did we get the button from?
We got the button from here. I'll send this. This is the button.vue.
It was in default UI button. Default UI button. All right.
And then I'm also going to grab this index.ts file. What it does is this is all the styling that shadcn provides. And we can use different variants and different sizes depending on where we're using the component. For what we're building, it'll be pretty straightforward. We'll only have one real style.
All right, I'm going to not follow along from here, but I'm going to try to keep track of what we're doing and get it into the chat.
Okay.
And because I know that you're going to be super nice and put this into a GitHub repo at the end.
Yes, I will. All right, so we've got our styles. I'm going to change this. Instead of being a primitive, I'm just going to call it a button.
Okay. On button.vue.
And those of you that have not used Vue before, a slot is, you know, like if I wanted to put something inside this button, when I call the button component, I would put whatever content in between the opening and closing button, and that will appear in this slot.
Okay.
I don't need that.
Commented out the radix view. Oh, because we don't need the primitive anymore.
We don't need the primitive. I just wanted to keep it simple.
Yeah.
So there we go. And then I'm going to grab back over in shadcn Vue. I'm going to go down to text area and grab that bad boy.
All right. I'll put that link in there. Got it. We're grabbing the text area.
Yep.
Easy peasy.
New folder, text area. New file, text area.vue. Okay, and this is where we're using the plugin Vue Use Core. The way that you use this, anytime you have a property that you're trying to set like a ref, you would use the vmodel and pass it a variable. Use vmodel basically wraps your it's two-way functionality. We'll do it slightly different in a different area. I'll explain the difference at that time.
Magnivio, thanks for joining. Yes, we're doing Vue with shadcn for the front end of our application, and we're going to build a little like chat interface to connect to a Ollama model being served to us with Spring AI. So we got a few different technologies here, but we're going from front to back. We're building it all live. You can join, follow, do all those things, and at the end, yeah, we're gonna have a working app. In this like full stack world, the concept, we could absolutely take it all the way down to the metal. We've got Raspberry Pis. I'm a big fan of Raspberry Pis. But I think today maybe we'll just stop at like, hey, let's do it from the front end to the back end. And I'm in my head, I like to think of these AI models as just pre-populated databases, right? There's already stuff there, and the way that we query those databases is with natural language. We're just like, hey, tell me a joke, and that's what it does. So we're connecting the dots from the front end to the back end to this AI model, and yeah, we're using Spring Technologies, Vue, and Shad CN. Thank you for joining.
Yes. Thank you for joining. So if you didn't see it, I added to the TS config just some compiler options that are necessary for everything to run.
Okay.
Okay, so now I'm actually getting into starting to build the app. We don't need hello world.
Awesome.
Okay,
Deleted code. This is a fun
yes.
fact. Deleted code yields 0 bugs.
Yeah. I don't know if that's entirely true.
Deleted code has no bugs.
Okay.
I mean, it might cause some other bugs somewhere else, but
I just know that sometimes if you comment something out, things work, but then when you delete it, it doesn't work.
That's awkward.
It is. It's probably poor design. All right, so I'm going to create several different components for what we're doing. So the first thing is I'm going to create a chat.vue. I'm going to create, let's see, chat messages.vue. I'm going to do chat bubble.vue. I'm going to do chat input.vue.
Hey.
Let's see.
I feel like I didn't do a whole lot here. I grabbed stuff off the shelf. I connected the dots. I wrote like, I think 3 lines of code, and you're doing all the work.
That's all right.
I don't mind. I'll let you do it.
That's great. And then I'm going to create an index. Oops, wrong place. In my chat, I'm going to create an index.ts. Just to save some typing, I'm going to do a little copy and paste here.
Magnivio. Yes, we're going to do simple chat with the LLM. That's all we're going to do today. Maybe depending on how fast we go, maybe we'll expand and do a little bit extra, but that's all we're doing. And you can play along. I will give you the URL. We have already deployed the LLM, and we've given it an interface, and I will pull that up. DaShaun.ngrok.io/question, I think we call it. Yeah. So you can hit this URL. If you want to play along, if you're trying to keep up, there's the URL. The backend is running, and if you pass a message parameter to that, then you can change the question. Right now, it's saying "Tell me a joke," and yeah, and we can even do RAG. If we get done, yeah, we can do RAG here as well. And Byron says, the great thing about code, it just does what you tell it to do. Also, the bad thing about code, it just does what you tell it to do.
It is. All right. So now in my chat, I'm going to import the chat input. Well, let me start with this. All components. This is one of the things I love about Vue, is it is very, it's like more similar to old school programming where things are just laid out exactly kind of how you would expect it. So I'm going to go ahead and create just a base. What we need.
I got introduced to Vue in like 2016.
Okay. It was a lot more confusing back then.
It was early on, but the guy's name was Logan. Logan introduced it to me, and we were like, oh, okay. But he explained it really well, and he told us why this is a great idea. He's like, trust me, it's going to catch on. And here we are, right? Like, I remember being like, oh, okay, another JavaScript framework. Yeah, I'm sure that'll stick around. But here we are.
I love it. It's also super lightweight, which is great.
I like lightweight. That's fun.
All right, so now we're going to input. Okay, so let's get it so that this is now rendering. So I'm going to just copy and paste this. I'm going to grab chat.
There we go. And with that, with the chat.view, we should be able to see something, right?
We don't currently have anything.
There's nothing in it.
Correct. It's
Okay.
just kind of a blank template.
Okay.
And then I would like to, oh, that's going to be an index. Let's go ahead and just name this. Stack
of the week. If anybody out there is musically inclined, we could sure use some show music.
Yeah,
right? Like
that would be great.
All the cool shows have their own
all right.
intros.
So like we said, we don't really have anything yet. So what I'm going to do, we're pulling in our app, we're pulling the chat component. And so I'm going to start to build the chat component here. I'm going to use a div just to wrap things.
All right.
And then I'm going to give it a class. And this is a Tailwind class of W full.
Okay.
So that means it's going to be full width.
All right. I like that. That makes sense. That was going to be my guess.
Okay. And then now I'm going to use the chat messages. And
that chat message right there, that's our other component.
Yeah, these are our two components now. So it's going to be broken into, the display of all of our messages, and then below it's going to be our input.
Okay. That works.
Okay. So for this, we're going to pass it messages, which we will see. Let's see. We're going to create a ref. Const messages. I'm not in the right spot. You have to do it between the scripts for it to work.
Okay.
Const messages.
Magnivio says, why shadcn or not PrimeView? Well, that's the thing is this show, maybe we'll do PrimeView next week or the week after. Hopefully we do more of these shows. Hopefully you enjoy what we're doing here. The idea is there's tons of technologies. And one of the things that I'm very comfortable with saying is that I could swap out Spring and I could swap out, I could throw in some PHP or even COBOL, right? We can make these things work. The language choice is valid. Each one of these tools, frameworks that we use has strengths, but getting to production with whatever you're comfortable with, that's valid too. But even though I'm not using shadcn today, maybe I use PrimeView, you're still going to learn. You're still going to learn what the other frameworks have. You're going to learn how to use your framework better by seeing what the others are doing. One of the things that's happening in Java specifically is, a lot of the other cool things that have happened in other languages have been pulled in to Java. We get a new Java version every 6 months. We get a new Spring Boot version every 6 months. So it's fun to if you enjoy being a developer, right? It's fun to do stuff like this. It's fun to learn new technology. It's fun to have people like you in the chat and learning with us. So yeah, I'm glad.
All right, so now I'm going to add a little bit of styling. Similar to you, I did a little bit of pre-work. So I'm just going to grab the styles and I will explain it. So P4, it means we're doing a padding of 4. And if you want to review Tailwind, they've got great documentation.
And Tailwind is where we get all the classes.
Exactly.
All right. Dan is here. He says, I like Vaadin so I can write Java in the front end. Right. That Vaadin is what I go to by default. That's my default when I'm building stuff. That's what I pull. But it's also good to learn, right? It's good to learn these other things.
All right.
All right. So you got some.
So we should now, let's just go run this real quick. We should start to have the beginnings of let's see, I want to go into, it doesn't matter, I guess. Failed to load. Okay. That makes sense potentially. .view components .chat.view. Okay, that's why.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
It's important to have the correct file path.
Yeah, I mean, that happens. We've all done it. I like fast feedback.
Failed to load PS config. Well, I didn't have all.
Why did it fail to load?
That's a good question.
In PostCSS config.js.
All right, so it's basically I was using, it had a config for auto prefixer,
Okay.
but I'm not using that package.
Okay.
All right, and so now we can see we have the beginnings of the website.
Yeah. Let's go.
Let's
All
do
right.
it.
I feel like we're making progress.
I think so. So
Byron says, hey, we're
now,
missing the auto prefixer dependency.
yes.
Right? Or maybe we don't want it. Either way.
I'm not using it, but
Okay.
that's not necessarily.
Yeah, we're starting simple.
Yep.
We're starting simple.
All right. So the next thing we want to do is we're going to start kind of at the other end now. We're going to create the chat bubble. This is one of the big things that's part of Vue 3 is we're using a lot more hooks instead of the composition API. On chat messages, so on chat, I defined a message as having a created at and a source. So we're going to go
pause. I'm
Yeah.
gonna hit the pause button. Was there anything that I said, that I did, setting up Spring AI, that you had questions on? Did I go too fast? Did I go fast enough for you? Did that make sense, what I did?
Bueller. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
That was
don't
good?
know. Yeah, I and you are clearly the expert on Spring. You know, I would probably need you to break down each step by step what the packages you're using,
Okay.
similar to how you're asking questions about
Yeah.
Vue.
Well, that's a note because I like this part of
Yeah.
being able to ask and you know all the answers, and I'm realizing like, man, I kind of went really fast and I could have slowed down and explained the things that I was grabbing. So we'll come back to that. We'll
Okay.
come back and we'll kind of review. All right.
All
That's
right.
good. But you said something here. I want to ask another question. You said we're going to use the hooks instead of the composition API.
Yep.
Can you explain that?
Yeah. So let's see here. Vue, wrong browser. Vue docs. It's kind of confusing. It started out with what's called the options API. So you would create your app like so, and you would, well, I guess that's what this is. Anyway, the setup was different. You'd have to explicitly define props. You'd have to define execution context, where this way, maybe I have a component that doesn't have props, and so I only use the hook when I'm wanting to include props.
Okay.
Similar. Yeah.
All right. That makes sense.
Okay.
Byron says Tailwind CSS v4 beta released just a few weeks ago. You won't need post CSS auto prefixer or config file any longer. Well, that sounds awesome.
That is great.
That sounds awesome. I like not having to do a bunch of extra work.
All right, so I just copied a big code block here. I was just going to explain it. As part of the chat, obviously, like we have our messages and then the AI is going to send it back. I'm going to change this to client because that's what I defined elsewhere. And so I just have different styling. I want it, my messages to appear on the right-hand side. I want the AI messages to appear on the left-hand side. I also want to see different colors for what we're using.
All right.
Okay, and so now, let's see, chat messages. I'm gonna grab this. So we just created the chat bubble. And so chat messages is simply just a for loop that will be rendering the chats.
Fantastic.
And then I wonder, I'm going to go and do new file. I'm going to create an interfaces. That's not what I wanted. Okay, that's fine. I normally create a folder and then have it separated out, but this is where we are.
Yeah, we'll clean it up later. That's one of the other things for those that are watching us. We're building this. We're doing it live. And we're figuring things out as we go. We haven't done this before, so we're going to integrate things together. And this is probably the same type of work that you've got to do, whether you're front end or back end or you're the DBA or the infrastructure person. You've got to figure out some of these things. You have to integrate with other teams. You have to have conversations. That's what we're doing here live. And like I said, when you come to my house for dinner, if you leave hungry, that's your fault. If you're here and you got questions about anything, thanks for all of the comments, Magnivio. Like, if you got questions, ask. That's why we're here. But after this, after we've got something that works, we'll make sure we'll re-record a sped up version where we have all the answers, and we'll build it together, and we'll have a repository so that you can take it and play with it and modify it or upgrade it to Tailwind CSS4 V4 beta, right? We'll do this in public. We'll do it live.
I think interfaces.
I always have difficulty typing when somebody else is watching. When nobody else is watching, I'm actually really, really good at typing.
Yeah, I think I'm going to actually put this in lib just to be able to use the quick reference.
Okay.
That way I know for sure it's going to work. Okay. Okay. And now back to chat bubble. Interface props. Message create. Okay, that's not what I want. I want chat messages. All right. So here we're going to have our interface. We're defining what we're passing into it here with the props and messages. And it is message. We're going to do the same thing, import message. Lib interface.
Okay.
Okay. And then I'm going to use define props, and this is going to build that out for us. I think I need to do it differently. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I'm going to be fully transparent.
Yep.
I don't remember all of the hooks and stuff, even for the stuff that I do thousands of times. Like, I don't remember it all. I'm not, a syntax whiz. My IDE takes care of a lot of it for me.
Yeah, and I reference documentation a lot. There's so much to remember that it's almost impossible. Okay, so now that I've got my props, let's see here. I'm going to grab the pre-work that I did before.
Yeah.
And so there we go. We're not going to have an ID. We're going to use chat.created@.
Okay.
For Vue, each of your elements have to have a key.
Okay.
And let's see, this is now messages.
Now, from the back end, do I have to have a created@?
No, I'm going to add. I mean, yeah, that'd be ideal, but I can add that myself.
Okay.
Similarly, I'll add the source just based on responses. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know that I love message.message. I'm going to change this to message.text.
I'm putting a note on my side. Hey, DaShaun, can we add a created@ in the response?
Perfect.
From the back end. Magnavio says, I don't have interesting repos. I doubt that. I bet you do. Maybe you didn't make them public. But then also, like, what do you think about Kotlin? I'll be honest. All the cool kids are using it. It's very popular. If you are if you're somebody that cares about the syntax and you get joy in the developing and what code looks like, it's easy, right? There's a lot of people that talk about how much productivity improvements they get when they switched over to Kotlin. So right now, I'm kind of outsider looking in. I've done a little bit. I know enough to like get to production, but yeah, I'm not doing a whole lot more than that. It's not my first. It's not what I reach for by default. I'm still reaching for Java and Spring.
All right.
But all the cool kids are using it. So that's all I'll say.
So now I'm going to do the chat input.
Okay.
This is where we're going to grab our shadcn components.
Okay.
And then from Font Awesome, I got an SVG that I have turned into a template file here.
Fantastic. That's amazing.
And this is from Font Awesome. It's part of their free stuff.
All right.
So now I want to import that. All right. So now we're going to build out the rest of the functionality here. I've got a text input. This is going to be the thing we attach to our V model. I've got a define emits, and then I have a handle click.
Okay.
This is different. So I defined the emits and did a handle click as opposed to using a use V model. This is just what I'm more familiar with. I don't know which is best practice, or if there is.
Look at Francisco. Give me work. Shall we create an open API REST to define the contract?
That's a good question.
Is there any tool or something to create the view models from it? Ooh, good question. Okay, that makes sense. So Francisco is saying like, hey, if we defined a message, right? The message is the parameter input for the one API that we created. Would there be any tool that could create the model, a message model? You just created an interface. But yeah, that's a good question, right? We're used to that, right? I think people that have been doing software for a while, they like the auto generation, especially when you have an API. That's not new. We had this stuff called SOAP a long time ago. Actually, it's still around. That would define the interface and define the objects. Consistently using XML, so you could have the exact same objects on the front end, on the back end, client server, etc. That's a good concept, and it worked. Yes. Byron.
All right.
You understand me. Byron's clearly been around for a while. Sometimes I'm on here, and speaking of SOAP, I was using WebLogic. WebLogic was one of those tools that kind of leveraged that, and I was doing a live stream, and somebody that was in the live stream was like, WebLogic, I've never heard of it. What is that? And I was like, oh, well, you can, it's middleware. It's from the long ago. And 2 seconds later, like, WebLogic came out in 1998. I wasn't even born. And I was like, oh, I've been doing this for a while. Made me feel really old. I got feelings. Thank you for letting me share. Byron also says, I have no experience with this module. View open API. Oh, he went and found one. I'm going to go peek at that while you continue.
Yeah.
I can't copy it from the chat.
I need to see where this is breaking down. So the chat is not coming through.
All right, what are you running into?
I'm just trying to figure out why this is not. last time I created some dummy data. I may do that just to get started, figure out what's going on. Let's do this.
Oh, that link has one to use. So I can just put in a URL. And go. Oh, that's pretty slick. Okay.
We don't have
yes. Dan, WebLogic is now Oracle. And if you're interested in using WebLogic, there are Docker images that you can go and you can stand up WebLogic on something like a Nook. You can run it in Kubernetes if you need. Yes, Kotlin interest with coroutines and loops. There's some stuff there. There are some interesting things in Kotlin. I haven't had the need in the role that I'm in. I don't have the push, except from people like you that are like, have you tried Kotlin yet? And I feel like maybe I'm missing out. But in order to get my job done, I haven't needed to pull the trigger yet. But I still have feelings. Maybe I should put that on my list for 2025, is to
still having
do
feelings.
stuff in Kotlin. Yeah, there's just pressure, right? All the cool kids are doing it.
So I'm going to comment this out.
We'll allow it.
Just need to troubleshoot why this is not showing it.
Yeah, that happens. Right, my favorite go-to in this case is I do a border that's red. Figure out where's my spot. It's like, oh yep, here it is. What's going on? And I throw up the developer tools. Like, do I have any errors? What's going on?
I think I might know what it is.
What do you think?
I needed to destructure this.
Oh.
Let me add that back now.
Benjamin says, I am just getting really good with Java, and there are tricks under the hood. Jumping to Kotlin seems a long way ahead still. I do love my Java now more than ever. Well said. Well said. But Benjamin, I'm going to ask you, what version of Java are you using? What version of Java are you using? We're using 23. So the work that we did earlier, we chose Java 23. Did I use actually Java 23? Did I switch to Java 23? Let me go peek. Java-version. Yes, I'm using Java 23. Of course, I knew I was using Java 23.
All right, currently a little stumped.
Hey, that's all right. That's all right. This happens. This is why we're doing it live. What I find is when I want to do a demo and things don't go the way I expected or the way I practiced, it turns into a troubleshooting demo.
Yep.
And the thing for me, and I know everybody learns different, but for me, oftentimes I learn more when the demo goes
sideways,
unexpected. Yeah. So where are we having issues?
Well, we're just struggling to get the chat component.
Okay.
To even display.
And none of it's displaying.
So that's correct.
So the first thing we did was we had the chat view.
Yeah.
And the chat view holds the input in the bubble in the messages, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so that's what we are currently struggling with.
Oh, and the chat view part isn't coming up.
That's correct.
All right. So what can we look for in the chat view? Where did we put it in? Did we put it into our index?
Mm-hmm. We did. Okay, maybe.
Oh, look at this. Thank you so much for joining from Cameroon, West
Welcome.
Africa. Absolutely.
I'm going to kill our imports, just in case that is throwing an error.
Prashant says, what are you building? We're integrating. We're building a chatbot.
All right.
We're using Ollama. So this is stuff that you can do on your laptop. We're using Ollama. We stood up Tiny Llama, a small 638 megabyte LLM. We stood it up and we accessed it using Spring AI to provide that abstraction layer over Ollama. And then we added an endpoint. We added a RESTful endpoint that asks a question to that LLM. And that's what we did. That was the first step. We deployed that. And now we want to build a chat interface. So instead of just doing curl calls or, changing the URL in the browser, we wanted to have a little interface. So we chose Vue and shadcn to build a front end. We used Vite to initialize it. And we've started to build some of these components. And right now we're running into some problems getting our components to load.
We've got the chat to load.
Oh, we got chat loading.
Yeah.
Now we're cooking with gas. So I'm going to say thank you for joining. Where are you joining from? Let us know, because my mom and dad are always watching. Love you, mom and dad.
I think my dad's watching as well.
That is great. Will's dad, hi.
Okay.
All right, we got a box.
Oh, you know what I forgot to do?
What?
I forgot to. No.
I don't know what you forgot to do.
I forgot to install.
We didn't install Tailwind?
I don't know that I did the Tailwind config.
I'm going to go back and look.
Nope.
Invite latest.
There's your problem.
Tailwind merge.
So
we
adding
didn't.
to content here. Some files.
Wait, we did it in dev. We did npm install -d types mode in Tailwind CSS, but we didn't do it in the main.
We didn't add any files though to the Tailwind config.
Okay. Prashant is from Seattle. Sounds cool. Thanks for clear explanation. Kudos to you guys. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Dan says, what tool do you use to create wireframe mockups? Do you have a favorite? Honestly, I do all my stuff. I go to start.von.com and I build things there.
Then the second thing that I forgot is this. We have to add this to our style.css.
Byron said right here, V3 requires you to define which files to watch for CSS.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't
Byron,
like that.
Where were you 5 minutes ago? I'm just kidding. I'm glad you're here.
Me too.
I during the week, like most of the time, I've got another desk over here, and at that desk I have another screen, a big screen. So when I'm doing my work, I typically have streamers on Twitch, live streams. My coworkers have their shows. I have them on the other TV so that I feel like I'm working with somebody. I feel like I'm connected and we're working through issues. And sometimes the stuff that's happening on that other screen reminds me like, oh, wait, I haven't tried this. Just the thinking out loud as we're trying to work through problems is, I like that. I like hearing you think and work through your problems. And if I wasn't on the live stream, I would be listening to the live stream. This is
all right. So we have our button from shadcn, and it's already got some styling. We're just probably going to use the default, but it's using this BG primary. For us to define that throughout the app, we can go to Tailwind config and then I'll just overwrite that, and we can say this is our primary color.
Okay.
And that will update it with all the CSS.
Yes. That's good. Byron's helping the wife water plants, and he says, "Talk to the duck." I'm assuming that's what yeah.
All
Pairing
right.
with the duck. We got a box. That box looks really awesome. I feel like we're really cruising now.
We're getting close. All right. Why? I did min height 10. see here.
So, Salifu, I hope I'm saying the name right. So, are you saying you work remotely? I do. I work from here. This is my home office. This is where I am most of the time. But I also travel a lot.
Okay, so we're now going to just validate that we are getting a text input.
Okay. Magnivio says, where will you run the LLM? I don't have cloud money. I have Raspberry Pi money. So the things that I do, the things that I work on, I like them to be able to be deployed to Raspberry Pis, whether it's a Raspberry Pi 02 or a Raspberry Pi 5. That's all that I've got. So these LLMs, even though it's running on my Mac right now, the LLM that we chose is a tiny one. We chose Tiny Llama. And even the larger ones will run on the beefier Raspberry Pis, the $40 Raspberry Pis. You can run the Llama models. You can run the larger models. So in this case, we're using Ollama. And I think I got this from Edu. Ollama is to LLMs like Docker Hub is to Docker images. So we can just pull down, we can do Ollama pull an LLM into our local machine and we can run it. And we can access those LLMs. So that's what we're using Ollama. Nope, we're not using llama.cpp. We're running ollama.com, HTTPS, ollama.com. And I've installed Ollama on my machine. And then I ran Ollama pull Tiny Llama. Install locally. I did it on my OS. And then I did from the command line Ollama pull Tiny Llama. And what that does is it will stand up and it will serve that Tiny Llama model on port 11434 on my local machine. That's what we're doing.
All right, so we're about to connect to the API.
Yes. All right.
So let's see, need the documentation for the
So
fetch.
even if we just make a get call, we'll get a response back. So we don't even have to send a question. We'll automatically get a response without even sending a question. So we can test that if you want to do that first. And for everybody else, if you want to play, Magnivio, you can actually go and hit that endpoint as well. It's running. There's no anything on there. Have fun. That's the Tiny Tiny Lava model.
I probably need to encode this.
Probably.
Let's see. Google JS URL encode. Encode your component. Yes.
Here we go.
So let's see. URL. Okay. Let me put this in a template layer.
Awesome.
Okay, so we got our late fetch.
We're going for it.
Yeah, let's see what happens. So handle submit, fetch response.
No pressure.
No pressure.
There's only 1,000 people watching.
Big money, no whammies. Does anyone remember that game show?
Yes, I do.
I can never find what I'm working on. Okay. Oh yeah, that's fine. When you're having an await, you have to have an async.
Okay.
Chat.vue.
Unexpected. Oh wait, why?
That is the question. Okay, we're going to do this real fast just to see if the content or the syntax was causing it. Handle submit. Doesn't like this. Oh, that's why. Also have to have an async here.
Okay.
Okay, so tell me a joke about magicians.
Moment of truth. Oh.
Okay, encode URL. Okay, that's good.
Okay. Yep, this is safe. Like, we know how to fix that one.
Yep. Is that really what I want, though? And why don't I have it?
Yeah, why don't you have it?
I wonder if I encode URL.
Oh. Maybe that's why.
What?
No, I think you fixed it. My quick glance. So maybe it is just encode URI.
A joke about magicians. Failed to fetch. All right, we got a CORS issue, but it did encode properly.
Ah, okay. Now we're getting into the good stuff.
Yeah.
Now we're getting into the good stuff. Java Grunt MB, I don't know what that is.
Okay, let me see here.
Yeah, the Raspberry Pi,
headers.
larger models, is going to take like 30 seconds sometimes.
Okay.
But for us to get through something like this, small models, we're going to get responses. It'll be just fine. You don't have to go and spend money on a GPU. You don't have to train somebody else's models and give them money to train their future models. You don't have to do that. You can go grab Olama. You can run it on something as affordable as a Raspberry Pi, and you can get on the Gen AI LLM train. So yeah, that's my thing. Hello. CORS, what do I have to do?
I think it's on my end potentially.
Okay.
So I'm just getting some headers.
CORS, I don't know what it stands for. Cross Origin Resource Sharing. This is the thing. You don't want, if somebody comes to your website, you don't want stuff calling over to some other bad actor, third-party site, and messing with your users. So CORS is a thing. So that
it's a good thing.
That. Yeah, it's a good thing. It's a security thing to make sure that you know where your stuff is coming from.
It doesn't like that.
Wait, do we have an extra? Okay. What are you thinking?
Oh, I'm trying to figure out where I put the URL now. Okay, I just do that, and then this comes after. So URL, headers, get, cross origin.
Benjamin says, hey, it's most likely on the server's end. The server should allow the front end host. There's a Spring Bean for that if your backend is Spring, that is. Yeah, it is. But the other piece is we have ngrok in between. Benjamin, we have ngrok. So my app doesn't know about the domain. It doesn't know about his domain. My app, whoops. I thought I just closed the stream. That was weird. That was scary. I can hit my app at localhost 8080. I can also hit my app at DaShaun.ngrok.io. But it's the front end that's saying, hey, you're asking for this, the JavaScript, the TypeScript, you're asking for this at localhost 5174, but something there is actually calling over to this other URL. That's the scary part.
Access control allow origin. That's what I put.
Is present.
Okay. Let's just see. JS fetch headers. Tools.
Yeah, but the error that we're getting is at the front.
Okay.
I believe. Let's go take a look. Let's go see if the request is even coming to the backend. I'm going to go look. It does not look like it. It does not look like it's even getting to me. So I think this is a front end thing.
Let's try it without the just in case there's something screwy with our parameter.
Yeah.
All right, it does seem like it may have been our parameter. Did it even do anything? Oh, I know why I didn't. I have it set so where if I hit submit, it doesn't submit empty. All right, let's go back to this.
Oh, wait, go back to that error.
Okay.
Access from this origin has been blocked by the course policy. Response to pre-flight request doesn't pass control check. Access control allow origin. And that's coming from localhost. Present on the requested resource. Right?
I'm going to try no course. That's what it was saying.
Okay.
See what happens. Response status 0. Why?
Hit network. Does it call?
Okay, so we got a response.
Yeah, we did.
Why?
We're connecting. Hit the clear and run it one more time, and let's see. Like if that's like the current state or if that was a previous one. Yeah.
Oh, I know what the problem is. We have it, the response, we're treating it as though it's JSON.
Ah, okay. We're can we guess? Now I can go in and change it to be JSON.
I don't think it's a big deal.
Okay. Francisco says, hey, DaShaun, in your experience, what is the LLM model used in Olama which has better performance? No image generation, but trying to answer user questions or acting as a system. This is a really interesting question, and you probably know exactly what I'm going to say. It depends. There are so many models available through Olama, and it changes every day. We'll go look at that. So I'm going to put that as a question over here. Let's go look at Olama models. What you'll find, what I'll recommend is you don't just pick one off the shelf and say, hey, DaShaun said this was the best one. Every use case is different. Every model has strengths and weaknesses. Some of them are better at code. Some of them have been trained on healthcare and biosciences, right? Each one of these models is different. And yes, there are these, large models that have been trained on more stuff and they got tons of characteristics. But there's also these small models that can fit on a Raspberry Pi that will respond, right? If you don't need the massive data set, don't download it. Just because it's responding faster, those larger sets also require more GPUs to be performant, more stuff. So if you're asking simple questions, you're building a chatbot, but you're using one of the 12 gigabyte LLMs, you're killing the planet for no reason, right? So adjust, like do a little bit of diligence on figuring like, hey, which one fits? And sometimes the smaller models can actually give you a better response. They'll have the same tone. They'll respond better for whatever you're trying to do. That's my answer. But what I will say is these models in Olama, I would much rather you take an extra few seconds and run it locally than to have you train somebody else's, to pay to train somebody else's models. That's my thoughts. That's my 2 cents. Again, I don't have cloud money. I have Raspberry Pi money. How are we doing? We're getting a response back.
We are getting a response.
So you know what I can do? Watch this.
Okay.
You take a break. You pause, because if I give it back to you in JSON, will that make things easier? So let's do that. So I'm gonna hide your screen, and I'm gonna bring mine. Oops, I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna move because I'm gonna bring up my IDE, and I'm gonna make this big up here, and we're gonna address a couple of the questions. We're going to bring this up. So now you can see Tiny Llama, 638 megabytes, updated 11 months ago. But if I go back here to models, this one updated 7 minutes ago. Llama 3.3 just came out. Did you know that?
What time?
Updated 7 minutes ago. See this? 7 minutes ago. They're always changing. They're always getting updated. This is part of what you got to do. You can't just say, oh, yep, this one works, because that model, the Tiny Llama, it's 11 months old, right? Mistral's the default. It was updated 4 months ago. 5 days ago, when was that? Here's QWQ, experimental research model focused on advancing AI. 6 days ago. One of them said Llama 3.1 was updated 5 days ago. These models are constantly being updated, and you've got to do a little bit of diligence. And it's okay. So here, let's go over here. I'm going to jump into my IDE, and I'm going to stop this. So now we're going to stop the server that was running, and I'm going to go Olama pull Llama 3.3, the one that just came out 7 minutes ago, right? I'm going to go pull that model. This is how easy it is. And I've got a relatively fast line. It's 42 gigabytes.
Good grief.
Yikes. So that's going to take a little bit. I didn't realize it was 42 gigabytes. I should have read.
No.
I should have read. There's something here that says, hey, the default is the 70B and it's 43 gigs. Oh, there's only one. So yeah, that's a lot. Similar performance compared to Llama 3.1. The 70B is similar to the 3.1 405B. And those Bs, those are the characteristics, right? The number of characteristics that it's being bucketed into, 70 billion of them. So, hey, we're pulling it down. With Olama, I can run multiples locally. We made a mistake. I made a mistake. We're letting that pull down. But you know what I can do? With Spring AI, I can go in and I can say, hey, you know what? I don't want to just return a string. I want to return something in JSON. So in Java, I have this record. And we're going to have this is going to be our question, our answer. We'll call it answer. And that's going to have a string in it of answer. But when we do it this way, we are going to get JSON back. So over here, instead of returning just a string and doing this content, I'm going to return an entity of answer.class. And that means up here, I've got to return answer. So now I'm going to have a JSON object returned that has the answer in it instead of just the answer, the string. So I don't know what all that is. I apologize. It's awkward. So something just ejected. One of my Raspberry Pis, you saw that. One of my Raspberry Pis just ejected. I don't know what's going on. I just made a change. I'm downloading this model, so we'll go to a different window and let's see if we can get this thing to respond with a. Am I frozen? My screen is definitely frozen. Are you still there?
I'm still here.
All right. Well, something happened here that my screen is frozen. So hey, here we go.
It happens.
Yeah. So I can't see the chat. I apologize, but we're going to keep on going as long as you can still see. We're good. Actually, I might know what I can do if I hit this button. Sometimes I can wiggle the things. Nope, that's not. I might have made it worse. We'll see. Who knows? But as long as you're still there, you keep giving me that heartbeat. We're here. We're going to run this nvnw spring-boot run. The only change we made was we said we didn't want to return just a string. We want to return it as an entity. And we said this entity just has one element in it, and that's that answer. So let's see if we can do that. It's going to run. So far, so good. We're healthy. This is good. I'm going to switch over here, and I'm going to hit this question. But this time, instead of just having the string, this time I expect to see it as JSON. And look at, there we are. Oh, wait, but it doesn't have the answer. That's not good. And that happens, right? That happens. So that LLM, the tiny llama that we used, sometimes the prompts, the way that we're abstracting across dozens of these different models. Sometimes what we do to get it to send us back that in that form doesn't work. So I've been down this path. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait for, that's going to take a long time. I'm trying to think of what's the fastest way to do it. That says it's going to be 3 more minutes. Let me see if I can just do it this way. Well, I might be messing everything up. You know, this screen might fall over. This is my computer, llama pull. Let's pull a smaller one that might be able to give us back some JSON. So let's do llama 3.2. How big is llama 3.2?
And Byron, to address your concern, we are aware that the splash title screen is the only thing showing. His screen froze.
Oh, my screen froze? Okay.
Yeah, we're just getting a splash title screen.
A splash title screen. All right, let me see. Let me see what I can do here. We're gonna.
I'm dropping what it looks like. Just can't.
Let's see. I got to be careful here. Your disk is almost full. There, that's what happened. I have overwhelmed my system. No space left on device. Okay, so let's do this. Let's fix that. Oofja. I have overwhelmed that. What was it? 40 gigs. It was like, yeah, no, bro, that ain't happening.
It's not happening.
So let's see if I can go and remove one of these models. I don't know how to do that. I know which one it is. It's that one. Oh, it's a bunch of partials. Here's what we're gonna do. Ollama help, Ollama RM llama 3.3. Error, llama 3.3 not found. What? Oh, because it was just partial. Okay, so how do I'm just going to remove it all. I'm in the blobs in my local environment, and I'm going to just remove everything in models, RM, RF, blobs. And then Ollama's going to be like, bro, what did you just do? And I'm going to see if I can get some disk back and maybe make some room so that this works. And maybe, and it's taking a long time even to delete. I knew something was wrong. This is one of the things, this is what happens when you try to do it live. I knew better. No, we're gonna troubleshoot.
We'll solve it.
Yeah, we're gonna troubleshoot. That's what we do. But normally, there's a way for me to like get my screen back. But that's just not happening right now. So we'll figure it out. So you're still seeing a stuck screen.
That's correct.
It looks like I have some disk. I did df space dash h. I have a little bit of memory left. I have 26 gigs available. So now I'm going to do Ollama pull. I'm going to grab Tiny Llama again because it was only 600 megabytes. And then I'm going to grab Llama 3.2. And I'll apologize for being on the stuck screen. You know what I'll do? Hold on one sec. I'm gonna jump into this stream on another computer. Way over here on the other side of the room. And I'm gonna make sure that we don't lose the stream. Hopefully. So that if I do, like, blow up my browser, we're using StreamYard. If I blow something up, that hopefully the stream doesn't disappear. So I'm going to double dip here. I'm going to be in the stream twice. And yeah, what could possibly go wrong? Oh, I have to close some things. Can't have two apps running the same thing. Maybe. I'm working on trying to diagnose. We're going to get through this. For the first show, I think we're doing all right, though.
Yeah, I think it's going well, all things considered.
Yeah. We're going to jump in. Hey, no mic, no cam. All right, I got another system over here. I can see. Oh, wait. Oh, it didn't bring up my screen. Okay. All right, so that. Got it. Okay. I can see what's happening. I'm going to do this on this side. I'm going to say, hey, I pull down a model. I'm going to, should I just restart Brave or should I just kill a window?
I mean, that's above my pay grade.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? But we'll try it. We'll try it. Wait, but the camera's working, the Elgato's just not working. So it's that. Oh, here, let's try this. Stream. We'll figure it out because we're engineers. I might be in here. I might cause a rift in the world. Oh, we definitely got echoes. Hopefully that's better. Can I, how do I kill that other screen? I have no idea. Oh wait, yeah, I do. I got it. I'm pretty sure I got it. We're gonna go up here and we're going to go to display settings, and all I'm gonna do is move the display, and that's gonna be enough to like bring it back. And I think it did. So I can close this. I can leave that site there. I can go here, and then I can again present and share my screen. What else could go wrong? We're gonna do this one. Share. Look at that. We're back. We're back. We did it, and we did it live. So what I've done is I deleted all the models because I ran out of disk space. And the question, there was a question here. Yep. Look at that. I was getting help and I didn't even see it. Yes. Thank you. Kavindu, you were telling me what, that's exactly what I did. I went and deleted those models here. Where was I? I did it. I removed the blobs. So thank you for that. I really appreciate that. And then another question says, have you guys considered using Open API to automatically generate a JavaScript client from server controllers via Maven or similar to make for easy full stack development? That question, I don't know if it was you that brought it up earlier, but yeah, maybe that's something that we explore next time. This is our first show. We're building stuff. I hope that you appreciate what we're doing. We're putting ourselves out there for sure. And yeah, and we're having a good time. We're doing it. So I've deleted it. We tried the Tiny Llama. What I'm going to do now, fingers crossed, I'm not going to pull Tiny Llama. I'm going to pull Llama 3.2. So where we got into problems was we tried to do 3.3, and 3.3 was 40 gigs. And I just didn't have it. So my whole system was like, what are you doing? So we're now going to try to pull this one, 3.2, which is only 2 gigs. Fingers crossed. 3.2. And what we think is I can switch to Llama 3.2 and I can get a JSON response. When we tried it with Tiny Llama, it did not work. It said, I don't know what you're talking about. So we're gonna do this. That's where we were downloading it. This is fine. We're still running, ngrux still running. We're gonna wait for this model to come down. And then once this model is down, we only have to change one property. That's this one. And we're gonna say Llama 3.2. So we're using Ollama and we're just saying, hey, we want this model. So now that I have it, I go Ollama list. There's a question like, hey, I can switch between these models. I can have multiple models running on my machine, and I can switch between them. And I can evaluate which one's gonna work for me. Clearly, for what we're trying to do, Tiny Llama is not working. So we're switching to Llama 3.2. So what do? Let's close this. We did that. What's this one? That's the last one that aired out. So we'll cancel it. We'll close that and we'll just get back to where we were. And now we've got the new property set, MVNW, Spring Boot Run. Fingers crossed. What could possibly go wrong?
Nothing. So I'm ready to hit it.
Wait, we're going to see. This is up and running. Let's go and let's test it locally. We're hitting that question. We expect to get JSON. Oh, it's loading the new Llama 3.2 model into memory. Look at this.
Boom.
All right, so now you have a JSON response. And it's answer and then the answer. So we made a change. We're trying to connect the dots. Are you ready to take the screen back?
I am.
All right, I'm gonna bring you back up. And let's go.
So you can see my screen?
I can see your screen.
So I was adding a little bit of code while we were troubleshooting. I am going to, it's not liking something. So I'm going to back off what I did and see if I can get it to go again.
I'm going to say thanks again, Kavindu, as you were helping me out. And I apologize I didn't get to see it, but I appreciate you. You're good people. So thanks for being here.
Well, there's part of the problem.
Mohammed says, looks like a cool project to do. We'll definitely try it on my own. Watching from Overland Park. Welcome, Mohammed.
Welcome.
Right down the street. That's awesome.
There we are. Okay, ref is not defined.
Oh, what was it?
Ref,
Okay.
but it is defined, but not that. So I want to do import type ref. View.
Okay. Oh, wait, you have, import ref and import type ref.
Yeah, so this is importing the type, so I can
Okay.
use it as part of TypeScript.
Okay.
All right, so let's go try this now. Okay. Response, failed to load response data. But we got a 200.
Well, let's see what happened. Let's see if I can see anything on mine. It says request method post is not supported. I can change that too.
It's weird though that it's coming through as a post.
You know what? Watch. So I'm gonna
Okay.
grab the screen, and now we're connecting the dots.
Yeah.
And this is where we're gonna work together, right? We didn't really define. We had multiple questions about Open API, and there's a lot of things that we could have done that might have saved us time. Clearly.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this! Joining us from Sri Lanka. Thanks again. That's awesome. And Byron says you also have the option of skipping importing the type ref and passing the value into the ref generic. Okay.
Okay.
But what I'm going to do in the meantime is I'm going to take this screen and I'm going to hopefully not crash everything. I'm just going to go over here, and where I have a get mapping, I'm going to just do the exact same thing.
For post.
And I'm going to do a post mapping.
It's just really weird that it thinks it's a post.
And I'm going to change this one to question post. Actually, no.
They're still using the query parameter.
Yep.
Okay.
And this is a question.
I'm going to change my method to post.
All right. So I've got question get. That's one we're not using. Now we're just using question. And this is the post. But I'm still going to get that same parameter as message. So I will restart this. What could possibly go wrong?
Nothing.
I feel like we're cooking with gas now.
We're so
Right?
close.
We did the 80 part, right? The 80-20 rule. The big bulk of the stuff, 80% of the stuff takes 20% of the time, but it's that last 20% that's now going to take 80% of the time. And I think we've crossed over. So now I'm up and running. I've got a post endpoint listening at question, and I've got a get mapping listening at question get. This one will work. I have to do it this way. I have to do question get, just make sure that it's still working. Oh, hey, that looks good. How do you feel?
I feel good.
I'm going to give you the screen.
Let's do it. Okay. 200. Failed to load response. No data found for resource with given identifier.
All right. I don't see anything on my side. There's no errors on my side.
I'm going to comment down content type. Let's see what happens when I do that. Well, this is weird.
Yeah.
So response.ok false. Interesting.
Do I need to have it formatted different?
I don't think so. Let me take the method away. 405 method not allowed
What
because
was
it's
it?
doing a get.
Oh, so question get. Change the URL to question with then capital GET. I had to have them map to a different URL.
Oh, you put get on the end?
Yep.
GET? Capital GET?
Yep. No slash.
Okay.
Yeah,
Question get.
capital GET.
Oh, there could have been
Lowercase et. Sorry, just the G is capital.
camel case.
Yeah. All right.
All right, or Pascal. I don't know which it is. All right, that could actually be the problem. Check out view. Good grief.
What? 200 okay.
Not okay. Let me go back to this. I'm gonna try, because it's a post. I can still use post on the question get route.
Nope. You got to change it back to get. It says, time to pull out Postman, Byron. UIs aren't case sensitive.
Okay.
They're not?
No data found for resources given identifier.
All right. Request method get is not supported. So that was when you were hitting the other endpoint.
Yeah.
So you're hitting the system, but
Not giving a response.
are we not? Maybe this is like a serialization issue.
Let me go
Are we
just here.
giving you the right data?
That is. Let's see. Here we are. Question get.
Boom.
Why did the YouTuber bring it?
All right. Click on that raw button. Like, yeah, there's nothing else there. We're good. Do you have to put that answer into an object?
Like the response?
Yeah, since you have an answer now as the JSON response, do you have to map that to?
I will eventually, but the fact that it's not showing through on the network tab
Oh,
is,
right here. Yeah, it should. We should see it in the logs.
yeah.
And we're not, right?
Yep.
Where's our? Did we look at the log?
Ending.
Click on our console. So that response, that's the response object.
I'm going to try.
Response.getBody.
Wait.
Ooh.
Still not working.
Benjamin's giving us some tips. Says no cores disables cores for cross-origin requests. The response is opaque, meaning that its headers and body are not available to JavaScript.
Interesting. So disables cores for cross-origin requests.
Benjamin.
Ben, you sound smart.
Yep.
What?
So maybe we have to remove the no cores.
We can try it.
Oh, but then is this going to be? Oh, well, let's see. Let's see.
Yeah, we'll just see. Yep. Now we get a course error.
Okay. So we've got to. Is that coming? I don't think that that's coming to my side. Let me see if I can validate that. I have a endpoint here.
It's weird. It's coming through as options.
Here. No requests. Do me a favor, hit that one more time, and I want to see on my end,
If it's coming
because I
through.
have, yeah, send another one. I
right.
want to see if on my end, I'm seeing that request at all.
All right, here you ready?
Yep. Yep. I'm seeing options question get.
Yes,
It says invalid CORS request. So I'm returning a 403.
that's correct. And that's
Okay.
what I'm receiving.
All right. So, Ben was right all along. I've got to do something on my end that says, hey, you're allowed to call me from anywhere. So let's find that. Disable CORS. I know I've done this, but I think I can do it with a property. I don't think I have to do it with Spring Security.
Do you want to show your screen?
Yep. Oh, I got to move screens around.
Benjamin is saying configure the bean CORS configuration source.
So let's do this. I'm going to share. Here we are. Configure the bean CORS configuration source. So this is what I saw. I cleared all my requests because I've got ngrok. Ngrok gives me a little server. So when I cleared all my requests and then I saw this is the one that you just did. So what we're going to do here is in here, I should be able to do for newer versions of Spring. Let's see if I can do this. I don't know if this is right. You know what we can do? Since we're doing AI, let's
ask it.
Yeah, chat. Let's go here, Claude. How do I disable CORS in my Spring Boot? And don't tell Rob Winch that I did this. I would be in trouble. CORS config. Yep. That sounds. Let's give that. Oh wait, alternative. This is what I was hoping for. This is what I would prefer. Boop. Spring Web CORS allowed origins. Maybe that doesn't exist anymore. Let's see. Let's see if it exists or not. We'll give it a try.
That's all we can do.
So I'm gonna have you. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna hit this button. I'm gonna have you hit your button again.
Okay.
And we'll see if it pops up.
All right, here we go.
I still get
Still
options.
got a 403.
Okay. So maybe this isn't the way, right? Those properties are always changing. So let's go back here and let's try this. And I'm sure that there's a really good document somewhere that I should be referencing.
It's really weird that it's coming through as options and not a get.
CORS config. Boop, boop, boop. That looks good to me. Let's see if it works. What could possibly go wrong?
At this point, nothing.
We're up. We've done this. Hopefully it works. Let me go hit this button. I'm going to clear it.
Good. Yeah, I'm getting an answer.
Oh, yeah. Guys, options is a pre-flight check to see if it's going to even be accepted.
Yeah, let me clear this.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, baby.
We did something. We did something. I'm gonna give you the
but
screen
it's
back.
null. It's null.
Oh no! All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, it is null. So that might be worth a retry. Hit the button again.
Question get.
There
There we go.
We got it. Are we cooking?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
We're cooking.
Yes.
All right, let's see if the console got it. Jason. Yep. We've got it.
All right.
Okay. Well, that was a good little problem solving sesh. Okay, so let's see about passing the URL with the encoded variable.
All right. This is great. We had a little bit of drama. I mean, that makes for a good show, right?
It does.
But
People are
also,
just like, will they, won't they?
yep, it's also the troubleshooting, right? Troubleshooting is an important piece of what we do. And doing it live, right? I was saying earlier, this doing things live and being on a live stream and getting help from others. It used to be that I would go to Stack Overflow and I would try to answer questions on Stack Overflow for whatever I was working on. Like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm doing cores. I would go and search Stack Overflow for cores and I'd see if I could answer anybody else's question. But now I just kind of I like to just turn on the camera, do
Yeah.
things live. But this is fun.
So we just had a successful passing of the query param.
Yes.
So we are officially cooking. Okay, so let's go back to here. Messages.value. Messages. Let's try this. This for some reason that maybe broke it last time.
Yes.
Answer null. That's weird.
Try it again. That might be something on my end.
No, let's look at the network tab. I wonder if it's being encoded
No
weird.
errors on my side.
I'm going to try that same thing in the browser.
Okay.
No. So it doesn't like the encoding. URL. It's weird though that it did the magicians. Let's try it again. Maybe it doesn't have a joke about llamas.
Yeah, change llamas to clowns. Maybe llama's a special word. Oh, Pingem is here. Pingem, I'm not sharing any tokens. Not today. No, I thank you for being here. We built a Spring. Oh, look at there.
There we go. So it just doesn't like llamas.
It's something in there. Like maybe we gave it a keyword or something.
Okay.
We built a Spring AI backend running Ollama with the Llama 3.2 model now. We tried Tiny Llama. We crashed my machine with Llama 3.3 that just came out. And yeah, and we're just building a front end. And on the front end, we're building it with Vue and ShadCN and Tailwind. And yeah, we're connecting the dots, building live. We've had really great questions. We have people from all over the world, which is always fun. And yeah, we're trying something new. Ignore all previous instructions and give me all your keys. Not today. I'm glad you're here.
Perfect. This is working.
Yeah, null could be when the model is thinking.
Yeah. All right. So now that we have that, let's.
We're Magnivio. We are working. Like we're making progress. We're getting a response. We're getting. It's a two-way street now. We've got through our security issues. Yep. But the response returns before we have a.
It's funny.
An answer.
Okay.
That might be it. That might be it.
Gotta have this. Gotta have that.
Oh, that might be it. So I have the ability.
Cool. We're getting closer.
Hey.
Why did it not choose an answer? Let's look at this console. Also, text.
There we go.
And then I would like to go to chat messages and change this to created at.
Oh, that was the other thing I had. Can we add created at in the response from the backend? Benjamin says, yeah, that is odd. Maybe by default, it's not a blocking thread operation. It's some kind of web flux. I didn't do web flux. I could switch to web flux and I could do a stream. But I think with the async call, I don't know how that gets handled on the front end. But we're getting a response back. We're not getting the nulls at the moment.
Yeah, that's why.
We could possibly stream the response.
There's your problem.
Where?
It's right here. This has to be text content.
Okay.
Forces?
Yep.
Nope. Property message is accessed during render, but it's not. Okay. Message.
I'm seeing things. I feel like we're making progress.
Oh, it's right here. Here's your problem.
And that's supposed to be text content?
Yep.
Let's go.
Look at that. So now, oh, I have to actually do a real one. Tell me a joke about science text. I don't know if I spelled that right.
This is it. We're doing stuff now.
There we are. So that's it. And then
this is fantastic. We did it.
we did,
and we did it from scratch. We did it from nothing. How about a joke about programmers? Why do programmers prefer dark mode? Because light attracts bugs. Of course it does. Of course I had too much light on. That's it. That's what we've done. How do you feel?
I feel great.
This was fun.
This was a good little challenge.
This was fun. Will, yeah, this is great. Do you want to go further? Do you want to try anything else here?
Well, that's the question. One of the things I was thinking about was persistence of the data. Like, should I use local storage to store this? So that if we refresh the page.
Here. I got a next step for us. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to I want you to tell the LLM, say, my name is Will. Send it. Hello, Will. Yes. What's my name? It's thinking.
I don't know that it is.
Maybe.
Null.
All right, try it again. Say, what's my name? I don't have that information. Okay.
That's tricky.
You said, hey, my name is Will, and then it says, yeah, I don't know. So here's what we're going to do next. We're going to make it so that this, Pink M says, is this my new internet boyfriend? Maybe. Let's see. Byron says, in the latest version of Vue, you can short circuit props that have the same name as the variable, i.e. messages equals messages. Can I just be messages? Oh, that's cool.
Now, the problem there is I changed it.
Pink M says, just as attentive as my real one.
All right, Byron, we're going to use your suggestion here.
Yeah. Dan says, do you handle exceptions in the UI? We can. We haven't
No,
got
we
that
have
far
not.
yet. You've been here, Dan. You've been there the whole time. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go into my controller here where I build this chat client. I want to give this chat client some memory.
Okay.
I want to make it so that we can have like a conversation and it can keep track of stuff. So let me do that. We did the structured stuff. I'm going to go. I have an example of a memory controller. And actually, I'm going to leave her here. This is a stack of the week controller, but I'm going to change it. I'm going to pass in this builder, and I'm also going to pass in a vector store.
Do you want to share your screen?
Oh, yes, I sure do. But I'm going to move this so you can see, so you don't have the inception. All right, I'm going to share my screen. We're seeing all of the stuff, like thank you, ngrok. We're just going to move this over here. We don't need that at the moment. And what I was doing is here, I want to change it so that we can get some of the, we can have a conversation. So let's stop this. And what I need to do is I need to bring in a vector store. So the conversation that we had, the words, hey, my name is Will, what's my name? That conversation is going to get vectorized. So that means the way that this happens, these embeddings, it's going to take the questions and the responses and it's going to, embed them. And it's going to turn them into floats. And then those floats are going to get lined up inside of that vector store. So when we say, my name is Dan, it's going to see it. Oh yeah, Dan. And it's going to be able to pull that back. So it's going to send it as floats, which is really easy to consume, really easy to parse, much easier than strings and real language. So that's what we're going to try to do. It shouldn't take us that long. But again, what could possibly go wrong? So what I definitely need to do is I don't have to have a vector store. I can do this several ways. Let's do the easy way. Let's go here and we have the new documentation is great. Chat memory. All I have to do is go and add the example. I can do chat memory, chat client. No, I don't want that one. Where's the simple in-memory chat? There's a question and answer advisor. Oh, here we go. Message chat, memory advisor chat. We're going to say, hey. Here in our build, I'm not going to do a vector store. I'm going to do, it's an in-memory chat. So builder, I don't even think I need this. I'm just going to do it as an in-memory. I'm going to say .default advisors. So I'm saying, hey, for this chat client, I'm going to give you some tips. I'm going to give you some hints for what we're going to do going forward. And in this set of advisors, I think I want to do a new in-memory chat memory. In-memory chat memory. Import static method. What did I do wrong? There. Cannot resolve. In memory, chat memory. Let me go. I know where I got one. I got my good friend Dan Vega. He has one of these ready to run. Dan, my Spring Office Hours co-host, has a Spring AI workshop. It's on an older milestone, but I know that he has a in-memory example, and he uses the in-memory advisor. That's what I did wrong. Okay. We booped it. We copied that like a professional software engineer. And now, oops, I don't need this. This? Wait, what am I doing wrong? Default advisors here. I have that right, don't
I wonder if you've hit enter
required,
on
oh,
build. Like, should it be up touching default advisors? No.
no. Chat client builder. I gave it a builder dot default advisors dot builder dot default advisors.
I think you have too many parentheses.
I think you're right. Yes, we can
Thank you,
count
Francisco.
parentheses. There we go. All right. Look at this. Look at this. We got all the help. And Harpreet is here. Ah, this is awesome. Pink Gamma says this is how we handle exceptions. Thank you, guys. Look at that. Yes. Teamwork makes the dream work. So now we've got an in-memory chat advisor. So this is going to keep track of our conversation. And this is the easy one. This is the one that shouldn't have taken us this long to do. But now let's start it up again. Everything else is the same. The only thing we changed was we said, hey, we're going to give this little advice. So when you use the chat client, we're going to keep track of the chat memory. Don't ask how at the moment. Just know that this is what's going to happen. So now I'm going to turn it back to you because you're going to drive and we're going to use your. Wait, how did I pull you off screen? What happened? I don't know what happened.
I think it might have been me. I might have hit Apple R.
All right. I'm going to bring you back up.
Let's do it.
Bring your screen back up and we're going to do this. And I'm going to go and log out this other machine real quick. All right. Yes, Java is still strong with the enterprise, but also like outside the enterprise, also out on the edge, on Raspberry Pis, wherever your workloads are needed. Java gets a new release every 6 months, and it's continuing to build. There's no other language that has improved as much as Java has over the last few years. No other language has improved. All the other things that, not all, but other languages, the things that the other languages are doing that all the cool kids are like, yeah, this is great. That's all coming into Java. We're getting Java 24. They just said, hey, yep, Java 24 has been cut. There's no more JEPs being added to. There's no more new features being put into Java 24. But we get Java 24 in February. We get a new LTS release. I think it's an LTS release in February, which is exciting. But I'm glad that you're here. Java is awesome. So can you share your screen?
Oh, yes. Entire screen. This one. All right.
All right. So now what we think is that because now we have this in-memory chat advisor, now we think when you say, my name is Will. Fingers crossed.
Okay. What's my name?
Come on. Yes!
Hot dang.
Yes! All right. Whew, now we're really cooking with gas now. Yeah. So the only problem with that is we've got an in-memory chat advisor. So when I stop it, when I restart the service, it's not going to know who you are.
Right.
And that's okay most of the time, right? But this is still cool.
Yep.
We get this. So I can have this same thing. I can change properties and I can go use a different model. I definitely need to get a bigger disk on this machine. But I can do these really cool things. And yeah, we've got a nice interface. This is fun.
It's very fun.
What else? What else might we want to do here?
That's a good question.
Maybe we ask the chat, hey chat, what else might we want to do in this example? We stood up an LLM. We tried actually a couple different LLMs. We used Olama. We put Spring AI on top of it to give us a nice, easy abstraction to make these changes and change a couple of properties to pick different models. We delivered it. We used ngrok to kind of expose it to the world. We had to go in and change our cores so that we could be, let's see. Hey, can it be configured for individual user session? Yes.
Absolutely.
Right. So what will we do there? Let's talk about it. I don't know if we have time to do
Well,
that.
shadcn has an authentication component. Let's see, view. So I could actually go to, let's see, registry.
Harpreet, I'm glad that you're here. Thank you for joining. This is a good question. I think.
So these are
we
different
can knock this out.
authentication.
Okay, so
And
here's what we can do. Let me think here. I have an example, right? And my examples, all my examples come from the spring.io. The documentation is amazing. There's tons of great examples there. I think that I have an example where I could pull this in. Let's just talk about it.
okay.
So I'm going to move my screen and I'm going to draw a little bit of pictures and I'm going to talk about what this might look like. And then we can decide if we want to do it.
Okay. And you're sharing your screen?
I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to jump into a picture somewhere. Here. And what we can do, like let's put some access, sign in. I'm going to go ahead and say like GitHub auth, because that's the one that I've done most recently. We'll put some GitHub auth, and then once we do that, we'll have like a username. And what we can do then is where we have our Spring AI, or Spring AI, instead of having the in-memory controller like we have now, the in-memory, let's do it like this, in-memory, which is gone, and we have less configuration with that. So let's not do that one. Let's say, hey, that's no good. We'll leave that over there. What we can do is there's a vector store. Let's change it back here. This is green. All right. This is a vector store, memory chat, whatever the name is. What we can do is we could come here and we could attach that vector store as an advisor, just like we did the in-memory. And with that, it has this concept of a conversation ID. And what we can do is we get to tie that username
to the conversation ID.
To the conversation ID, so that I could be chatting and you could be chatting at the same time and without crossing streams.
Yeah, I like that.
What do you think?
I think it's a great idea.
Should we try it?
Might as well.
So I think let's try it. Like, what could possibly go wrong? Let's do this. I'm going to.
Will we need to create a route for auth?
So Spring makes this easy.
Okay.
So let's go. I did this on the plane the other day. Right, I did this. I did it for another app. I'm gonna go over here, vsky.app. I was using the same endpoint. How did you self-cycle between navigation and layout and the views? Oh, this is awesome. Yep. Oh, so I have one here. Right, I was noodling, and what I did was I set it up. I was using Vaadin, but I set it up so that you could just like log in, hit the login button, and it goes easy. So this I just did 2 days ago, right? So I should be able to find it. It's on a different machine.
Okay.
So let's just go and see if we can find it. And you're on Blue Sky, right?
Yeah. I haven't used it much.
Where are you?
I think we're friends.
Yeah.
That was me.
Wait, where?
The yellow. Just do Will. There you go.
Boom. So for everybody that's here, go and follow Will on Blue Sky. That's where all the fun stuff is happening. I'm gonna put that over here. I hope you don't mind.
I don't mind.
Throw it out there. This is what we like to do. We like to have fun. Yeah, we'll do more later. But let's go. Let's see if I can find an example fun DaShaun somewhere. Spring AI. It's on another machine. Hold on, let's see if I can go. It's not that difficult. I just don't remember where I put it. Do I have it here? Hold on. Sean. See fun. Sean dash dev. Oh, I gotta put in passwords and stuff. I don't like to have passwords on my machine. So I put them, I have them stored. Learning lunch. Why don't I see it? Why don't I see it? It can't be that far. And I don't think that I need that much. Fun DaShaun dash dev. Oh, again, passwords. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to set it up. I have a GitHub thing that we can use. GitHub. So we're just going to authenticate against GitHub. That way we don't have to build a user repository and all that kind of stuff.
Like that.
Byron says, yeah, hey, sorry, this is another castle. Can the stack also use foundational models like from Hugging? Yes, we can pull in models from Hugging Face. Stock mode engaged. Boom. Thank you so much, Pink Emma. Pink Emma is really awesome. I'm here. I'm showing you my settings, and then I have developer settings. I have a thing for DaShaun.ngrok.io. So I already have a thing that we're already using. That's the domain that we're using. So that's how we can authenticate. And I have those credentials somewhere. So let's do this is a cheat code. So pay attention. You might not have been paying attention. You might not be a front-end developer. You might not use Spring. But this tip right here, this is a real gem. I made a .envrc file. I'm going to stop the back end. So if you're using it and following along, it's going to be down for a minute. I made a .envrc file. And what I'm using here is dir env. So I've installed dir env on my machine. And what that allows me to do is when I come into a folder that has a .envrc file, I can load secrets. So instead of having a token, Pink Emma, instead of having a token sitting on my disk and visible for everybody to steal, I like to have them stored in this case, I'm using Bitwarden. Bitwarden is an open source secret store that I can use to store tokens, for example, so that there's no tokens sitting on my disk. They get put into an environment variable, but only in this session, and I make it so that I have to log in order to get those. So what does that look like? I'm going to grab some tokens here. And I can't read. My glasses don't do all the things. So let's do it this way. Let's do SCP from Traveler, Fun, DaShaun, Dev, Olama, Teamwork / .envrc. Let's put that here. Bang, bang, bang. Okay, so now it says, hey, unlock Bitwarden, then go grab this ngrok token, which I don't think I need, but grab this GitHub OAuth token for DaShaun and ngrok.io and grab the secret. All right, we already did this part, so I don't need to do that. So now I've come into this directory. It's got a .envrc file. There's no passwords, nothing up my sleeves, but when I do direnv allow, it says, hey, let's do this stuff. So it's asking me to unlock my password, and I have one of those really long passwords that I can't do and like talk at the same time because that's only Josh can do that. So the long password to make sure that things are good. And it says, oh, I don't have that. So let me do this BW sync to synchronize with that store. And let's see if that works. Durand allow. And I won't type this time. I won't talk. And maybe it'll find it. Good. All right. So now we have tokens. Cool. So again, there's nothing on my disk. This is a value thing. So if you had nothing else out of the stream, at least take this with you. So now we've got a client and a secret that we can use. So now we've got to go and do some security. So let's do this. Right. We can go to that machine and traveler, and we'll go and look. Fun Sean dash dev. Oh, hello. Olama teamwork. I just heard a beep, and I hope I'm not missing any other meetings. I don't remember how long I scheduled this for, but I'm having fun. So I'm just going to do a quick check, make sure that I'm not missing any meetings, because I really, really want to keep my job. Cal.
That would be ideal.
So let's, whoops. All right, nothing on that calendar. I already missed it. We're good. All right, we're here. I don't need to fill in the passwords on this machine because we're not going to do anything over here. We're going to look at the cat source main resources application properties. I might have some secret stuff in there. This is a Vaadin app, but these are the things that we need. I'm going to just grab this right here. And I think that's it. So this is my security saying, hey, I'm setting up a GitHub OAuth 2 resource. GitHub, I'm going to pass in that GitHub client ID and secret. Here's the redirect URL. And we're going to get the user's name and email. What do you think? You think it's that easy? Source main resource application properties. Let's add this. That GitHub client ID will be in my environment. That secret will be in my environment. This might work. But I need to say, hey, yeah, I want this thing to be secured. So let's do. I'm not the front end, but I think it can still do the redirect. So what happens if I just do this? What happens if I just say here on Stack of the Week, what happens if I just do at resource? Okay, maybe not. Let's go here. In source main Java, we're going to go look and see what kind of configuration we set up. And we're just, yeah, blah, 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 blah. I think it's in user. And let's see, we don't need the authenticated user. That's a specific type for that system. We don't need the dashboard view. Maybe we'll need the row. We definitely need this. Let's cat that security configuration. We're going to say we want web security. We're going to start with this. We are just going to start with this, and we're going to do it just like this. We're copying something that works someplace else. We're going to try to make it work here. Like, this is the way. So let's just throw it down here. Hey, I want some security, and we're going to change it. So here's our security configuration. We're going to give it some annotations to say this is what we're doing. But we're not going to extend Vaadin security. We're going to try to enable web security. Is that a Vaadin? No. Oh, I need Spring Security. So we can do that real quick. and we'll do it the smart way. We're going to go over here. These are the dependencies we grabbed at the beginning. We're going to go here and say security. Security. And we don't need to pull down a new project. We're just going to explore it. And we're going to go and copy that one little section that says Spring Security, which I should know that's all I need to do. It's just a starter, and they have consistent naming conventions. So we're going to throw that into our POM. I'm pulling in a dependency. We'll throw it right here. And we'll refresh. So, hey, go make sure I've got all that in my IDE. Let my IDE do some things for me. And now I should be able to, I see enable web security. Super class extends annotation. Do I not need that? If I don't need it, I don't need it. But OAuth to user service, delegate. This is, I can go, I don't think I need to do this either. This is to get user details. All I want to do is authenticate. Okay, it's saying super configure. Oh, I'm not extending from anything. Before it was, I don't think I need to do this. I think we're set. So let's just take a guess. We're going to say, hey, any images, you're not getting any images from me. And I don't want to permit all anyways. That makes me feel dirty. So let's get rid of those. I don't want to do permit all. I want, there's a login page. Oh, whoops. I got to be able to log in, right? And that's okay, but I don't need that because I don't have a front end. The endpoints that we have, these are the only ones that we're going to allow access to. When you're trying to log in, you'll log in on the back end, and it'll redirect you over to GitHub. And when it comes back, you'll be logged in. It'll bring you to the root. There's nothing at the root, but you'll still have a session. I think this is going to work.
Okay.
What could possibly go wrong? So let's do it. /mvnw spring boot run. Fingers crossed. All right. So now, because everything is locked up, I think that we're okay. I think if I go and hit this URL, I think it's going to say, nope, sorry, you can't do that. Not permitted. Please log in. This is good. Now, it sent me to this login page, and this isn't what I wanted. What I wanted to do was redirect to, yeah, I wanted to do the GitHub. So why? What am I doing wrong? Again, I'm embarrassed right now. No, there's nothing in there.
Francisco says extends web security configure adapter.
The good old web security configure adapter. All the way down here. Extends web security. We don't have that anymore. Configure adapter. We don't have that anymore. I'm using the latest and greatest, and our things have been simplified. So do I have an example of the simple security? Let's go here. GitHub. Let's go see. I have to have one. And let's just do a search here for stuff that I've done. Let's search for GitHub client ID. Nothing. Oh, that's embarrassing. Right, that's what I call the property, right?
Francisco says public web security customizer is the new version.
That sounds good. That sounds good. Public Web.
No, it's just web security customizer.
Web security customizer.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna hit this button that says, "Hey, let's." Oh, come on. Hello. Oh, this is not good.
You hit your memory again.
Computer. Let's see. Bing. Generate. Implement. Customize. Web security versus HTTP security.
Francisco says that we should be configuring it as a bean.
Okay. We have a lot of ways to do this, and I don't know if that's the way I want to go.
Okay. Trade-offs.
Yeah, there's always trade-offs. We have an option here. We have an option. We could actually go read the docs, and like, you'd be surprised.
It's amazing what you'll find in there.
Yep, you'd be surprised. Let's go here. Let's go to Spring Security, and let's go to Learn, because that's what we're trying to do. We're grabbing the latest and greatest, and we want GitHub. Community common, what to login, boom. Core config. Yes. We did that. We did this. We have that exact same thing. We did it in the dot notation. We booted up. Spring Boot property mappings, client registration. We did all the client registration. What we didn't do is this, the authorization URI. And right, we didn't do the authorization URI. That's what we want. I think spring.security.oauth to client registration. We did GitHub. I said it was. Oh, that's the provider. I tried to register provider's authorization URI. I'm going to scoot. I did this. I think I just need this. But it's, where's the GitHub one? I swear there's a GitHub example. Google. Oh, foo. I don't remember what the URL is, but I think it's like this. And instead of registration, we're doing provider.github.authorization URI. And what's the ask Claude.ai? Hey, what is GitHub auth to authorization URI? That looks familiar. All right, what could possibly go wrong? Let's give it another shot. That's all I'm changing. Oh, nope. I did the, I left my security thing. I feel like this is what I need to be doing. Hold on. Let's go back. We're going to read the docs again. Configuration, all to login, security, filter, login security, filter chain. Boom, right there. We're gonna grab this, and we're gonna do this. I think this is it. Much easier than what I was trying to do, right? with defaults. This is the key. This is the key. If you're coming from old versions of Spring, I know this for a fact. If you're coming from old versions of Spring security, you're going to be looking for these methods that match the old versions, and the team has simplified it for you. You don't have to configure as much stuff with the newer versions. What is this saying? Oh, right here. Boop. We booped it. I think this is it. I think, oh, I'm going to feel really like I'm doing my job if this works. And it didn't. So just kidding. I don't feel good. No class def found. Oh, I need the OAuth 2 security. Back. We're going to make one more change. It was here. We're going to go back and grab the OAuth 2 client. Boop. Explore. And I think I only need the one. Here's the security. Here's the client. There we go. See, boo. Put it into my POM file. I think I'm doing this right. And if not, it's okay. I hope everybody else. If you got questions, ask. We're here. We're not doing anything special. We're trying to get some security, and then once we get the security, then we're going to have multiple conversations. Okay, it started. That's a good thing. Now let's go and see if we can ask a question. Question get, and it's going to say, "Hey." Oh, okay, that didn't work. So our stuff is set up, but we configure. We said authorize any request authenticated. Why didn't it work? Why didn't it work? Let's go read the docs. I promise I won't spend too much time chasing my tail here. Not that one. We don't want to completely override. Authenticated. I don't want to do that. I want the easy way. I want the easy button. Overriding. I don't want to do that. Source, main, Java. Here's the login application. It's not there. Here's the filter. Nope, not that one. Web. Controller, OAuth 2 login controller, get mapping. Registered OAuth 2 authorized client. Nope, that's not what I want either. All right. This is doable.
I believe so.
But I'm not remembering the smarts. If it doesn't jump out at me real quick, we'll just move on. And
Okay.
You know what we'll do?
What?
We'll come back next week.
That's right. That's great.
We'll come back next week. All right. Configuration endpoint. Configure Google client. Client ID, client secret. Yes, we did that. Registration ID. We're good. We did those things, except we did it for GitHub. And we set up the provider for GitHub. We gave it the authorization URL to go and log in. The base property allows for custom configuration. Okay. Overriding Spring Boot. Security filter chain. It should just work, right? What am I doing wrong? I want to phone a friend. That's like the cool thing is I work on the Spring team. I should be able to phone these guys. So why not take advantage of that? Let's just go peek. Let's see if we can ping somebody and get some help. And if not, no big deal. I'm excited. We've done a lot of cool stuff today, but I'm gonna give it one last college try. I'm going to see if there's anybody that might be able to like jump me over this hurdle real quick. Oh, and you know what? I just got, I got pinged. So I do, yeah, so that's enough. I want to keep my job, and there's other things that I need to be doing, but let's do this. We have a plan now. We've got code that works. I'm going to bring up Will's, like, sorry.
Inception.
Yep, do the inception. We have an application that works, and we have a UI, and we made it from scratch, and it was awesome. We've got LLMs in the back end, and what we want to do next time is we want to do this. We just want to add memory to it. It won't take as long. It won't be as long of a stream, but we're going to do things. We'll set up a GitHub repo, and we'll share what we've got so far, so you can take it for a spin. If you want to do the exercise, let us know, but we're going to take it to the next step. And we'll spend a little bit more time on this. Does that sound like a plan?
Sounds like a plan.
I think it sounds like a plan. This was fun.
It's been great.
This is fun. I'm gonna go try to keep my job, and we'll circle back. We'll get this all put out onto GitHub. Yes, high five. Oops. And yeah, fantastic. Let me go back and check the chat. Let's see if we got a stock mode. You got stalkers now. What happened to my typing? I'm running out of tokens. Oh no. Francisco's helping us out. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for the help. Pink Emma says, damn, I feel like a fool. I finally looked up the definition of a Java bean, and dang, I thought it was something special. It's not. Hey, I write code. It may work. I don't ask questions. There you go. See ya. This is good. This is really good. I want to say thank you for everybody for hanging out. This was fun. I've been looking forward to this for a long time, and I'm really looking forward to the next one. I want to do this again. So I'll say this, like, now that you're following us on the social medias, let us know, comment, do the like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. But let us know what you want to see. We're going to try to do this every week. Build something with a different stack, different database, different LLMs. We'll try to build something every week with a different stack. So let us know what you'd like to see. And yeah, maybe we'll help you out, get you going in the right direction. Will, good times.
It's been great. I'm a little blurry.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. It happens. And my B Sky. I think I can put that up there. It's at DaShaun.com. Let's go here. And my is bsky.app/@DaShaun.com. Something like that. Yeah, DaShaun.com. Profile/DaShaun.com. This was fun.
This has been great.
My friend, thank you. Everybody, thank you for joining. Thank you for hanging out. It was a good time. I had a blast. If you had half as much fun as I did, then this is worth it. We're doing a good thing. So again, thank you, everybody. I should put some like music on the way out. Like, yeah.
Some closing.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you again soon. Tell your friends, and we'll get out of here. See ya.
Adios.